Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. We're back. It's Tuesday, July 20th, 2021. In the midst, of course, probably seen already, is, well, another terrifying market sell-off. Hanging on barely onto 29K support. Another big tumble down waiting for us any moment now, or is this a spot we can expect a bit of a reprieve rally? Might this even be some sort of bottom? Indeed, these are all questions we intend to explore on today's episode of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Surely Crypto Jack back on a Tuesday. Sorry we didn't catch you guys for the Monday installment in the show. Probably would have been a good one, seeing that Monday, of course, had some of the sell-off in store for us after the weekend. Alas, we're back today, down one man, of course. Jason's still enjoying his summer holidays. I think he's on a boat today, doing some fishing. I too.
Yeah, it must be nice.
There he is. That's, of course, the voice of lead analyst over here, Cracking Cryptocurrency, Alex. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Not on the boat, I presume?
I am not on the boat.
Gotcha. Well, I hope you enjoyed your weekend off. I know I certainly did, and I do appreciate the extra day off, everyone. Monday, I definitely took to myself, and, feels like the summer is now fleeting. Here we are in mid-July, heading into August. Sooner than rather than later. 20th today, guys. Wow, time certainly flies. Many things I look forward to when the summer winds down, least of which, of course, is Bitcoins. Bitcoin and crypto going to see an August-September rally. Will we see an explosive Q3, Q4 for Bitcoin? Will we indeed close the year out posting new all-time highs? Doesn't look like it, with the way it's poised right now, of course. Doom is on the menu for all crypto heads out there. Yes. What are your predictions? 20K, 22K, I see floated around a lot. Where are your limit orders? Are you prepared to catch this, or are you done? Are you tapped out? That is what's, I guess, on top of my mind. Wondering how everyone is, positioned amidst all of this. And never panic, guys. I think we'll be all right. All right, in that case, let's get on with it. Today we got a very exciting 2-hour installment ahead of us. We're going to get from this intro into, of course, a bit of news, a look at the bubbles, a look at some recent price action before, of course, we get into the main analysis in the first half. Second half of the show, of course, is dedicated to the AMA and the request section, so hang tight, guys. We'll get to each and every one of your requests in the latter half of the show, as well as D-Live chest opening. Yes, D-Live users can open another chest up for you today. Shoutouts, of course, to everybody tuning in from YouTube and Twitch as well. Going to get into those comments in a few minutes. Shout out our audience as always. In the meantime, let's give Bitcoin a look. Here we go. Here's a continuation short being printed on today's candle. Here's Bitcoin daily chart. And, man, even with low volatility, here we are, flipping ever so down. Currently at 29,632. How low did we go in today's wiki action? 29,258 on Bybit approximately.
Yep.
Congrats to Jason. Jason, I think, was holding his short open. I'm guessing he had a take profit at least. Congrats to anybody shorting this move down. Not much more to add. If you want to take a look at the hourly breakdown, let's take a look what I missed. Indeed, we've been sideways for, well, nearly 12 hours now. Bitcoin on the hourly, kind of setting up maybe for a bit of a reprieve rally right here, right now. Hourly closed above the baseline, still kind of hanging on to it 3 candles later. All right, the worst of it over for at least Monday, or Tuesday, I should say now. Maybe. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum. Yes, also in the midst of a hourly rally, it seems. Ethereum, of course, go back to the daily. Ethereum, of course, hit a low of brutal $1,715 over on Bybit. Picking up a little bit of negative volatility, but not a lot to report on here. Let's have a look at Ethereum Bitcoin. How did the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing fare in all of this? Well, looking mostly droopy.
No, it's up today.
Yeah, actually, it is. Well, there's a lot of volatility intraday
Yeah,
right now.
like let's be honest. It's been down all week, but it is up today, and that's interesting. That means buyers are stepping in more on Ethereum here, on this dump right now than they are on Bitcoin. Or rather, maybe you could look at it as sellers are pushing harder on Bitcoin. Perhaps that's a better way of looking at it. Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, indeed. Quite a few articles circulating as of late. The flippening is upon us. Bitcoin's days are numbered. The love affair, the crypto love affair begins again, but this time with Ethereum. I'm still unconvinced of this particular narrative, but somewhat playing on the charts. Ethereum Bitcoin kind of in the middle of a range it's been in for about a week, but I guess we'll keep further eye on this. Let's have a look at EOS. Have an EOS on the daily. Still going.
That's almost short right there.
Yep, 326. Today's daily candle is going to close firmly below the baseline. $3 EOS. What a way we have come from just the highs and the all-time highs of just a few months ago. Yep, we are down nearly 80% from the highs of mid-May on EOS. Man, let's take a look at XRP. Man, it sure looks like an identical chart. Can't even tell I flipped charts. Here's EOS or XRP also preparing for a big tumble down. Here is its they couldn't close anything like this. Firm close below the baseline. Man, not a lot of volatility on some of these charts, at least in terms of WADA. Have a look at Polkadot.
Well, I mean, there's clearly price is moving pretty rapidly, but it's true that we're not seeing a huge amount of expansion yet.
Indeed. Here's a quick look at Kusama. Kind of hanging on at $150 here at the baseline on the daily. And let's quickly look at, here's ADA.
Kusama looks a little bit worse than a lot of the other ones we've looked at. Kusama is so clearly broken support, I thought.
Here's a quick look at Cardano. Man, nothing is being spared in this market route. And continuation short getting set up today. WADA's picking up a bit of steam on Cardano. Let's just take a look at the weekly real quick here. Yeah, we are either bottoming here, and we're going to respect this support, or something tells me we're going to have a very ugly next move down for Cardano. 65-cent Cardano next. We will see. I'll leave further TA to Alex in his segment. Just going to quickly scan and kind of refresh myself with where everything stands. Here's Doge. Doge hanging on to 17 cents currently.
Remember earlier in the week? No, it was last week. Remember last week, and everyone was like, "Ooh, Doge pump, Doge pump."
Yeah, Doge had a nice day last week. Yeah. There was one day where there was some sign of life. Let me take a look. Where was it?
Literally one day.
It must have been on the Lord. It must have been right here. Yes, 17th of July. So I guess that was what, last Friday-ish?
Yeah.
Saturday? I think it was maybe Saturday. Saturday indeed. Doge pumped off the bottom, put in almost a 20% move. What happened to that? Pump and dump, one last fake out. Here I thought that was gonna precede some kind of big market move, but apparently, yep, fizzled out. Doge still doing Doge things, 17 cents. All right, quick look at gold. I'll let Alex expand on some of this. Here's Dixie still heading up. Press it over 93 on the Dixie. All right.
Like all she wrote.
Yep. A bit of a relief rally today on some of the major indices, eh?
Yeah, seems like it. Closing up the gaps.
Yep, the Dow collapse. Had a pretty serious down day yesterday. Wow, yes, indeed.
Yeah, we gapped down on open and then just traded down all day long. It was relentless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess not just the Bitcoin and crypto markets taking it on the chin. Yes, even mainstream markets.
Well, I didn't get to do a victory lap yesterday, but this is kind of what we said was going to happen on Friday. I was pretty clear that the markets were really badly positioned on Friday, and we did kind of open to fireworks on just the broader world markets yesterday, and a lot of follow-up today too.
That certainly seems to be the case. Being the corner on the markets this mid-July. Remainder of the year should be interesting, of course. We'll see how everything plays out. Troublesome times. All right. There was a quick review of some of the latest price action. Let's go ahead and get into the next piece. Before I do, I should probably do this. Perfect. All right. Let's get into the next here, and we're going to get into the bubbles. What's going on in the alt space today? It's about what one would expect of red. If there's any outlier gainers to highlight on here, we got QNT Quant up 7%. Leo, yes, yeah. Bitfinex token up 6%. FTT, the file transfer token, up barely legible 4%.
No, FTT is the FTX token.
Sorry, I always say file transfer token, but deep in my heart, I do mean FTX token. Indeed, the FTX token up 4% today, and yeah, I wonder, does the exchange perps looking up today? A couple different small gains, I guess, but maybe the exchange perps are faring decently today. I'll have to give that a look. Beyond that, a couple of tokens that don't show up on bubbles are doing well today. SLP, I think we do get requests for that. That Rev token up 20% today. Something by the name of Boson is up 15%. Yes, Quant up. Alpha, SLP, Golem are some of the top gainers today that don't appear on bubbles. So the alt space has a few winners today, but otherwise things are pretty ugly out here, if I say so myself. All right, there was a brief look at the bubbles. Yes, we have double-digit wildly across the board. All right, nothing in particular stands out here. Let's get into the next piece here. It's gonna be news. Hop into the news and then we'll shout out the audience and we will get on with the main TA in just a few minutes. All right. First piece comes from the block. Crypto FTX closes a $900 million funding round at a $18 billion valuation. Man, FTX has really come up quickly in the crypto space. An exchange that's really made up a lot of ground and I guess earned itself a decent reputation, some credibility. I guess it's now valued at over $18 billion, closes a $900 million funding round. Over 60 investors participated, including Paul Tudor Jones, Izzy Englander, and Alan Howard. I'm only familiar with Tudor Jones, but let's see here. Closed the Series B funding round, drawing in $900 million from array investors. FTX launched only in 2019, grown to become the most publicly visible exchange.
Wow.
Yeah, it's only been since 2019. Told you it's new. Most publicly visible exchange venues with its headline-catching sponsorship deals with the likes of Major League Baseball, esports team TSM, among others. The fundraise brings names to its cap table from across the crypto investment spectrum. Participants included SoftBank, Sequoia Capital, Paradigm, Lightspeed, Third Point, Alan Howard, Paul Tudor Jones family, among others. In total, 60 investors participated in the FTX raise. $900 million fundraise gives FTX a post-deal valuation of $18 billion, according to the firm. Represents the biggest crypto investment round to date, dwarfing even Circle's $440 million deal from earlier this year, which was previously the largest crypto venture capital deal. Man, FTX really top of the heap, it seems, living large as markets begin to unwind a bit.
Alameda Research has their hands in almost everything.
Let's see here. Top 15 venture funding deals of all time in crypto. Let's see here. FTX now taking the top of the list. We have the likes of Circle, Bitmain, Ledger, BlockFi, Dapper, Draper Labs, and Backed. Yep, making up some of the top deals. Crypto FTX. Give it away to Stan Bankman-Fried. Let's see here. He says, quote, "In the end, I'm pretty excited with it." At the CEO in an interview, quote, "It took me some time to explain the vision in the company to some of these investors that are not crypto native, but the business model is pretty simple. Yeah, suckers come in through the doors. We take a small cut of everything they win or lose, and we project to make billions in the process." What investor couldn't get turned on to that, right? Probably relatively little overhead, and FTX, everybody. Well, it looks like somebody is making out decently well amidst the market panic. Let's have a look here. Amidst, of course, this panic, did manage to set a bit of another record here. Bitcoin node network marks an all-time high after a roller coaster journey. Yes, this is a metric that's not often, I think, paid attention to, but still an interesting one to note. Bitcoin nodes recently hit an all-time high of 13,000 plus from their earlier peak of 11,613 in January. This is the first time the nodes are crossing the 13K mark, and it's increased from where it was in early 2021. Let's see here, bitnodes.io published this list of reachable Bitcoin nodes. The blah blah blah. It's a dashboard where you can find information about Bitcoin stats. Yes, nothing too here, guys, except for the fact that yes, at least somebody's getting involved on the infrastructure level, and we do in fact have over 13,000 nodes operating on the network.
That's really awesome. Look at that chart.
Yeah, certainly picked up. It's a popular way to get involved that, you know, doesn't require having intense mining equipment or anything. You can run a Bitcoin node on your PC, but probably ideally to have it on something even lighter that's always on. Something like a Raspberry Pi can make an ideal light Bitcoin node, and from there you can launch a Lightning node on top of it. Anyone here curious in joining the Bitcoin infrastructure, become part of the network, launch your own node?
I heard Casa has some really easy to set up Raspberry Pi Lightning node. For those of you who are interested.
Yes, if you do in fact want, not to shill Casa here too much, but there's something called Casa Bitcoin node. I'll just if this is if you know, building your own Pi node is a little too involved or too intense for you, this company here, Casa.
Yeah, we're not being paid to say this. They just have a really good reputation.
Yes, they are considered one of the most respectable manufacturers in these ready-to-go nodes. So they're basically plug and play. Pull them out of the box, you set them up. Very user-friendly. Again, so if you're more of a power user, more of a do-yourself type of tinkerer, you can get yourself a basic Raspberry Pi, probably all in with a hard drive, under 150 bucks on Amazon.
It's not in production? Are they not making it anymore?
What's that? Oh, it's sold out. Talking about Casa?
Yeah. Huh.
Currently sold out. Let's take.
What if they got a new version or something?
They might have this Casa Node 2 here. Let's see here. They do have some additional features here. This is about, but Casa Node 2 faster, better than before. No longer in production. Interesting. Well then, there's still Casa nodes out there. I'm sure they're bringing more products to the market, so rest assured, guys. I think Casa will be back.
Yes,
yeah, certainly.
Take it yourself.
Certainly, but yes, not too hard to spin a node up yourself, guys, and it certainly helps the network to some degree, and it's always good to have your own copy of the Bitcoin blockchain locally. Still one of the few chains out there that one person can possess on one hard drive and self-audit, so to speak, on the fly. Certainly something for more of the enthusiast, more of the Bitcoin power user, but in this case, over 13,000 such nodes are publicly pingable, so to speak. Yes, some people do run a node, but they keep it quiet. They're not publicly reachable on the network, so it's likely there's more than 13,000 nodes out there, but 13,000 what we know of, and well, it's a bit of a milestone. Go ahead and get into the next piece. Enough about Bitcoin nodes. Let's have a look at this item from Forbes. New Jersey Attorney General issues a cease and desist order against multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin financial services platform. Which platform is this? Oh, BlockFi. According to a draft press release from the New Jersey Office of the Attorney General, the Bureau of Securities is planning to issue a summary cease and desist order for New Jersey-based multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin financial services platform BlockFi. Stop offering interest-bearing accounts. Man, that's pretty much the meat of what BlockFi is famous for, right? Bitcoin and interest accounts. Let's have a look here. If signed, this action could be the first of its kind against a crypto lending platform that have seen rapid growth during the recent crypto bull run. Since its inception in 2017, BlockFi has raised $500 million in private funding and has a valuation of $5 billion. The undated, unpublished draft contends that BlockFi has been funding and facilitating its crypto lending and trading operations at least partly through the sale of unregistered securities in alleged violation of relevant securities laws. The New Jersey-based firm offers interest rates between 0.25 and 8.5% depending on the crypto asset and deposit size. In addition to a trading platform, a Bitcoin rewards credit card are also offered. In comparison, according to the FDIC, the national average for interest rates and savings account is now 0.06%. Wow, is that pathetic or what? While 10-year Treasury notes yield 1.19%. Man, reading it like this here and now, such plain values, it's really sad to see how far things have come. Wonder BlockFi and high yield interest, all of that is doing so well. The draft statement goes on to highlight how decentralized finance platforms known in the industry as DeFi do not offer FDIC or SIPC insurance like traditional banks and brokerages. However, with BlockFi offers similar savings and lending platforms to those that operate on top of decentralized ledgers such as Upper Compound. It is a centralized company.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, Bitcoin does not really allow us to do any advanced DeFi type things that you can do on Uniswap or Compound. In order to first, you do have to deposit your Bitcoin with a centralized entity like BlockFi in order to get those juicy yields. In this case, this phase the
how's
IRE.
your DeFi project coming along? That one, the DFI?
I mean, that's probably going to be years in the making, and that could, in fact, be, it's mostly the vision that DFI brings to the table rather than working tangible product just yet. And so, for people who want to earn yield, their Bitcoin, earn interest, I guess one option was BlockFi, which now has raised the ire of Jersey securities and Attorney General type people. Bitcoin, Ethereum, widely believed to be commodities, blah blah blah. Curious as to any other details here. Reach comment. BlockFi CEO Zach Prince told Forbes, quote, the company has no knowledge of any impending actions with the New Jersey Attorney General's office. We maintain great relationships with the New Jersey regulators and other state and federal regulators. After the story was published, Prince tweeted, quote, late Monday evening, BlockFi received an order from the New Jersey Bureau of Securities regarding BlockFi account operations in the state of New Jersey. Remain fully operational for our existing clients in New Jersey. He also noted that the order calls for BlockFi to stop accepting new EIA clients residing in New Jersey beginning July 22nd. Alright, so I guess the New Jersey clients of BlockFi are out of luck. Anybody here among them? Still kind of troubling. I wonder at the heart of this, what's their real objection to what they're doing? This part here, funding and facilitating crypto lending and trading, at least partly through the sale of unregistered securities. So is BlockFi themselves offering any kind of crypto or any kind of unregistered security? Or is this, or are they pointing to the fact that you can earn interest that BlockFi allows deposits and withdrawals of unregistered securities? BlockFi have a native token? Is it doing anything at all that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
That's odd. I wonder what they mean by unregistered securities, because Bitcoin's already been declared to not be a security.
Yeah, funding and facilitating its crypto lending and trading, at least partly through the sale of unregistered securities. All right, so maybe they have an objection to some of the tokens that clients can, like I said, deposit, withdrawal, earned yield on their platform. Maybe that's at the heart of the matter. Hopefully, BlockFi not any serious trouble over this. Of course, BlockFi, I've heard a lot of FUD. Maybe rumors, mostly rumors. I've heard a lot of rumors, FUD, about BlockFi. They do have pretty generous yields on Bitcoin. A lot of people think that's some kind of calamity waiting to happen. Alas, BlockFi still hanging on. Let's have a look at this next piece here. We got one here from the Loop News. 12-year-old kid coded his own NFT project and he made $160,000 in a day. Here's an interview. Man, is this for real? A real 12-year-old, or did someone LARPing as a 12-year-old?
It's a real 12-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, guys, here's one that's gonna make you wanna.
I almost made it into this, but I couldn't get the money into my wallet fast enough.
Wow. That one
I was like, wait a minute. The narrative is just so perfect. I'm not smarter than a 12-year-old. I'm in.
Well, let's take a look how what kind of success did this kid reach? Benjamin is a 12-year-old coder who yesterday released his first NFT collectible project. The project sold out within a few hours at the base price of 0.025 ETH per collectible, 3350 whales in total. Okay, so it's some kind of whale NFT project. Here's one of the whale NFTs. Is this the cigar in this whale's mouth? I kind of like it. Let's see here. The collection had already gained popularity through Benjamin's Twitter thread, which he released shortly before the project launched. The thread briefly went over how he started his coding journey and his introduction to NFTs. The thread quickly spread through the NFT Twitter world, thus putting a lot of eyes on the collection. After a complete sale of the collection, the secondary market sales began to boom. Word was going around in popular Discord servers, namely the CryptoPunks Discord. The floor of the project had then reached close to 0.15 ETH per whale. At this moment, there was a lot of conversation happening on Twitter and Discord about the legitimacy of the creator's claims of being a 12-year-old, or whether someone was spoofing as the boy. Skepticism was to be expected in the current market, where new collectibles are launched every day. This caused the floor to drop to about 0.03 ETH. It wasn't until this morning Benomi had released an update on his YouTube proving that he was in fact him and not an impersonator. The video featured a picture of him sitting in front of a monitor displaying the Weird Whales website. The floor is now recovered to 0.18 ETH, and the total volume of the sales is over 500 ETH. What brought so much attention to this collection was the creator. Being such a young creator is commendable. Alright, so apparently here's a little interview with the kid. How did you start your NFT journey? What led you to NFTs? How do you balance school and coding? Blah, 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 blah. We're running low on time. Can't cover all this, but apparently the kid made 80 ETH, or about 150k at the time of the sale. Very interesting. The name of the project is called Weird Whales. Imagine 80 ETH, 150 grand, snap of a finger. The kid is off to a good start. Somebody get this kid a co-op placement at FTX or something. Got a bright future ahead of him. All right, now that you're ready to cry into your morning coffee, knowing that some 12-year-old kid beat you to the 80 ETH payday.
I know a lot of parents that are like, holy shit, I can monetize my kid and just have him making NFTs. Like, they're like all ready to just like set their kids to work right now. It's going to be the new coal mines. Oh. It's going to be NFT mining.
Kids are going to be mining NFTs for the parents, are they? Yeah. Wow. Is this what it's...
Come on, kids.
Is this what it's coming down to? Wow.
Yes. NFTs and crafts. It's perfect for school.
Wow. Well, I guess things have come a long way. Forget enrolling your kid in hockey or something. We're going to be getting them onto the coding workshops, produce NFTs. Crazy how far we've come. All right, what time is it? All right, 1:36. I do have to be wrapping up the news segment. Here's a little update on the Ripple SEC drama. Ripple cites SEC commissioner's remarks to support the dismissal of the case. Lawyers for Brad Garlinghouse and Christian Larson highlighted the commissioner's criticism of an unrelated settlement that cited uncertainty about which tokens are considered securities. All right, very interesting. So I guess in this case, Ripple lawyers are citing another case. Let's see here. Supplemental letter on Monday sent into the SEC, or to the lawyers Monday to support the request for dismissal of an ongoing SEC case against them. The document notes a July 14th statement by SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce and Elad Rosman opposing the agency's enforcement actions against Blotix, the operator of the once popular crypto website CoinSchedule. The lawyers representing Ripple highlighted the commissioner's criticism that the enforcement action against CoinSchedule did not pinpoint which tokens the site promoted were securities, as well as wider uncertainty about how the tokens are defined. Quote, the public statement confirms the individual defendants' arguments that there was and remains significant regulatory uncertainty regarding when digital assets may be classified as securities by the SEC. The lawyers added, quote, the SEC's aiding and abetting claim requires that it show that the individual defendants knew or recklessly disregarded that Ripple's offerings and sales XRP required registration of securities and that those transactions were improper. SEC alleged, blah, blah, blah. All right, so I guess in this case, they're citing another matter here. A July 4th statement with coin schedule in the middle of it. And I guess they kind of widely painted coin schedule in this enforcement action in this statement here. They did not pinpoint which tokens the site promoted as securities. Probably very broadly said, you are promoting securities, please knock it off. And I guess once again, XRP's lawyers, the Ripple lawyers, are ripping into this. No pun intended. You know, if you can't, in the matter of coin schedule, if you can't, if you still, you know, if you're kind of arbitrarily deciding, oh yeah, some of your tokens are not exempt, some of them are in fact securities. We're not going to tell you which ones, but we can assure you we've determined some of your coins were securities. Ripple, I guess, is objecting on this grounds of like, well, you know, what rationale are you using to determine them as securities? Can we be privy to such rationale, and can we use it in our case? I guess is what it's getting into. One sec. So Ripple continues its battle with the SEC here. Seems like the SEC isn't even being very cooperative. All of this. They in fact being can't they just open the books and tell us very clearly what kind of rubric they use to determine security, non-security? I guess that would let the cat out of the bag. They probably want to keep this close to the chest, or it could very well be kind of arbitrary. All right, let's have a look here. I do have to wrap up the news here. Solana, big news, bringing EVM support to Solana. Is this the Ethereum virtual machine? Okay, that's what it is. Delighted to announce Neon, an Ethereum virtual machine scalability solution built on Solana. Neon lets developers take advantage of Ethereum Solana ecosystems as easily as deploying an existing ETH Layer 2 scaling solution. All right, Solana on the come up. Kind of, I guess this will give ability for existing developers familiar with Ethereum and Ethereum contracts to easily be ported essentially over to Solana as a scaling solution. All right, decent development over there. Blockworks, certain investment firm manages about 1.4 billion, has bought 103,000 shares of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Somebody's buying Grayscale on the dip. Thank God somebody is. Here's another one. Kathy Wood's ARK Investment bought another 310,000 shares of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust yesterday. All right, it's not over yet, guys. Somebody's still buying the dip. In this case, is it GBTC share equal 1 Bitcoin? No, $25 per share. Not even close. Maybe not a big allocation, but hey, it's good to know somebody giving it a shot. All right, well, everybody's favorite movie villains and among other investors all getting in on the action over at Grayscale. Yes, and indeed, speaking of Grayscale, that whole unlock, has that kind of proven? I mean, I'm not sure if this current price action is directly related to the unlock and people dumping, you know, as a consequence, but hey, it does certainly help kind of coincide with that whole narrative that we were talking about, well, kind of weeks in the run-up to this week. Go figure. All right, guys, there was a brief look at the news. Well, maybe not so brief, but there was a quick look at some of the news articles trending today. Let's go ahead and get into the audience here. Wish a very good afternoon, a good evening, good morning, depending where you're hailing from, to our audience. Expand out the chat window here. Let's drag this up. He was first in the chat this afternoon, Ron Legato. Shout out to Ron Legato on YouTube, writing first. The universe is in balance once again. Indeed, Ron Legato, you were first. The world is yours. Daniel, shout outs to Daniel waving to us on YouTube. Crypto Caveman on YouTube. There she goes, breaking 30K support. Yes, there she goes indeed. Hope everyone's doing well, even though we're all probably a little wrecked in our holdings. Yes, I could certainly say that. I guess one thing gives me comfort is stacking for many years now. My average entry still kind of solid. I can't complain. Any word. Bring on the all-time lows. Please, no, we don't need that. We don't need all-time lows. That would be catastrophic. Imagine sub 3K Bitcoin. Oi, what has happened? Let's have a look here. Alex1233, let's go. Writes Alex1233. Shoutouts to you on DLive. Tazblitz writes good evening all on DLive. Shoutouts to you, Tazblitz. A very good evening to you. CryptoBull21, what's up, good folks? Good to see you, CryptoBull. Welcome back to the chat. Electric on Twitch. Afternoon, everyone. Good to see you, Electric. CryptoBull points out that Bitcoins are now on sale. Yeah. We are, what, like 50-60% off from the all-time highs? Yes, it's sad, but it's indeed how far we've come. Let's just take a brief look from the top of the wick here at 65K. Yeah, we're about 54% down. Well, it's a nice discount. 50% off Bitcoin? Yes, please. Anyword points out that investing in alcohol and cannabis is good. No, please consult health experts for this type of thing. We cannot advocate for any kind of lifestyle revolving around these two items, but hey, it is good for a good time on the weekend. Anyword, nice. If you don't have ridiculous motion sickness. Motion sickness relating to... we referring to here, motion sickness... Somebody taking a ride on the Virgin Galactic rocket. Anybody else going up into space anytime soon? Hopefully you handle 0G well. Rot died. What's up, boys? Shoutouts to you on DLive. Mr. Rot died. Ron Legato saying, I bought 29.5K a while back. I'm waiting for the clearance sale. All right. So somebody's already bought the 29K Bitcoin. They want to average in by buying a bit lower this time around. Polly B. Hey, people. Shoutouts to Polly B. Any word. Impending doom is characteristic of claustrophobia. Could get you out of the face diaper. Didn't work for me, however. Alright, any word. I feel where you're coming from, but we can't explore these topics too deeply on YouTube. Jim14UK, shoutouts to you. Jamook, good evening, Patriots. Jamook is in the house. Yes, Jamook is back. Let's see here. Everybody wishing Jamook hello. I guess Jamook is a community favorite around here, even though his name is commonly mispronounced. Let's see here. Glad you could join us, Jamook, says Alex. Let's see here. I bet she... Daniel, is the online sale still going on? If you're referring to our online sale, our 4th of July sale, no, alas, that only lasted a week. The first week of July was your opportunity to get in on the big cracking cryptocurrency premium sale. But don't you worry. I mean, with the way time is flying, we're gonna be at the next big CC premium discount code in your inbox anytime soon. What is it gonna be? What's next? Is it Black Friday? Is Black Friday our next big sale? I think it'll be Black Friday. Yes, whenever that lands in the U.S. around the American Thanksgiving, I believe. Let's have a look. Ernest Agaya. Cheers. Good to see you, Ernest. David Rice, shoutouts to you. Hi all, he says. I see your request, Caveman, hang tight. Eddie Bag of Donuts. Eddie Bag of Donuts. Someone sold 77K Bitcoin on Coinbase Pro. Yes, I've heard a lot of talk that some institutional investors are moving their bags onto Pro to dump, kind of precipitating much of the sell-off. Oof, 77K Bitcoin sold here, man. Hopefully they buy the dip. Crypto Caveman, I see a request as well. Hang tight. Bricks, what's up, everyone? Shoutouts to Bricks. I'm glad to have you back in the chat. He says, Alex, I got a phone mount for the scooter. Okay. You've seen a scooter, Alex? All right. Alex might not be with us at the moment. Maybe he's muted, but I'll take it that you have a cool scooter to ride the island with. Bricks, because it's on the opposite side. All I need now is rims and Lambo doors, and I can call it a dub edition. Yes, I remember dub editions. That was a big thing in the 2000s. David Rice, hey, good idea. Need a phone holder on my wheelchair. Oof. Any word. Okay, not going to mention that name. Just been on the phone. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Tesla Go Around on Twitch writes, I listed the following decentralized domain on OpenSea, and I asked $4,000. All right, I hope you get a Tesla Go Around. Please let me know if you do end up flipping your customized domain on OpenSea. I have some custom domains as well. I wouldn't mind flipping. Jamook, get in there, my son, he says. All right, let's get a couple more comments knocked out, and we'll get into it. Maybe Alex will be back any second now. All right, man, you guys are a bit too spicy in the comments today. I'd like to read some of these, but you're going on. Who's this Claire individual you guys are talking about? Seem to be carrying on. Sovereign is BTC.D, by the way. Oh, I see. All right, there's another one called as well, DFI. I think that's what it's called. DFI is one of the other leading projects trying to bring Bitcoin to DeFi. Mr. Ether. Yes, shoutouts to Mr. Ether. He's with us today as well. Toes in the sand. Shoutouts to you. Good day, everyone. Good day to you. Let's see here. Find the coins you like and start buying, says Mr. Ether. Yeah, take it from a bona fide alt buying expert, Mr. Ether. Yes, it's probably a good idea if you have some favorites alts in mind that you balked at buying the top. Heck, maybe you did buy the top on some of your favorite alt holdings. Consider bringing your average entry in by gobbling up, if you got any money left at this point, gobbling up some alts at their bottoms. Let's have a look here. Tesla Go Around. Grayscale should buy Pool Together. It's similar to YFI. Okay. David Rice, I guess it would be a Tesla chair being electric and all. All right. Yeah, well, I think you've just inspired Elon to bring out the next major electric Tesla product. David Rice, yes, test all-time lows. We buy all that we can and then run to all-time highs. Sell and be wealthy. Good plan. David Rice, if only it was that easy. Any word referring to Jason's boat day off? Ah, okay, you're referring to Jason's boat day off. I understand. Now it all makes sense. Mike Maker, and finally, final comment. Crypto Bull 21 writes, never stop DCAing here, so it's getting cheaper for me now. Yes, never stop DCAing. That is indeed the name of the game. That's how I've handled it. I'm hoping it takes me to greatness. All right. Enough long talk. We've got to get into the next piece here. Alex, are you still with us?
I sure am.
All right. Don't mind going live. We are about to enter the next segment of the show. It's going to be technical analysis of crypto and the broader markets. Brought to you by Alex Pearson, the famous lead analyst here at CC, who just went live. So let me connect to him now. And all right, allow me to do a quick adjustment here on my screen, and we're going to get right into the live scene. Bada boom. All right, here's a look at the BTC USD perp. I think, yep, you're on the 50-minute on BitMEX. We are all synced up. As for the rest of yous, got any requests? And now is the time to drop them into the live chat. I do see a few that were posted in the first half of the show. I'm going to go collect those now. Feel free to repost them if you think I missed anything. Alex, take it away.
Okay. So, I think of note is the fact that once price came down to the median line of our pitchfork that we've been eyeing, for those of you who may not have seen it for a while. As our pitchfork, we're looking for price to be attracted to this median trend here. So, I love how we began interacting with it. Broke down below it. So, I'm keeping my eyes on this hourly trend. So we're putting some interesting volume in here in this area, which is really the area right below support that we bounced off before, and we've wicked into this area before and then recovered. We've done this a few times here. See this right back here. We broke down below this area, recovered. Broke down into this area, quickly recovered again, all the way. And that's when we started to make new highs on Bitcoin, right? Wicked down into this area in May. Wicked down into this area in June. Here we are in July, right back in this spot. And things are certainly bearish looking, bearish seeming. I do want to say we don't seem to have a lot of selling volume in this spot right now, comparatively. Like, let's look. Let's get a different Bitcoin chart. Here's Binance. You can see, whoops. Here in Binance, you can see we've experienced a real volume delta over time. This is the liquidity that I'm talking about. Right here. Like, look at the volume on these dumps comparatively. So one way or another, wherever we end up here, I think I'm expecting a relatively quick recovery after the collapse, whatever happens, if there is. Because this is more or less started to qualify as the third leg down that we've been looking for in this spot. We got one big dump here, two, boom. Now we're getting dump number 3. So this chart that here on Binance we can see there's really nice volume down here around 26 or 27K. We can see that volume exists clearly here on BitMEX as well. Here, 26, 27K. Right here on Bybit. And on the CME, that's actually right. It's actually right above our gap. See the volume right here. Right here, yeah, 26, 27K. So come down to this area, we wick through here, close the gap, trade a little bit more, recover. That's if we break down further from here. We're awfully close to breaking up out of this downtrend in a lot of places, and we're in the buy zone on a lot of different assets right now. I'm just as bearish as we've been heading into this week. We've actually gotten a lot of good news, haven't we? Like, China FUD is basically over, right? Everybody in China who had to sell, sold. Everybody in China who had to dump their mining rigs, like, either dumped it or moved to another country, like, legit, like they moved to Kazakhstan or wherever. Everybody was worried about the stablecoin apocalypse. That didn't happen. As a matter of fact, yesterday's meeting on stablecoins was so tepid. They didn't say that they were gonna put out new regulations moving forward. They said they were gonna put out new recommendations moving forward. Not even regulations, the recommendations. Oh, the G Bitcoin unlock. What happened with that? Oh, well, not only was there not like a huge premium, or not only was a huge discount, the unlock ended up having a 12% discount. All the G Bitcoin is getting snapped up by ARK and the Rothschilds and everybody. So it's actually a lot of good news we're opening up to this week, even if the broader markets kind of aren't amenable to it, right? So we've got good news in kind of crypto land again, or at least we're starting to get good news, even though this chart is, this chart sucks right now. But we really need this bounce, because if we don't get the bounce up here in this 29K range, for the reasons that I've pointed out to you, this is an area of liquidity that we've dipped down into several times in the past. Getting this nice reaction by buyers in this spot. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the bottom of this wick flushed out. We do often see that on in the markets. So that's where I'm at, guys. I'm becoming a little bit more bullish on crypto the more we dip down into these areas. Alts are starting to look, the prices are starting to look real nice. It's definitely getting to the point where it's like, hey, I don't know when we bounce back, but if you're buying here on alts, you're probably in the money, somewhere in the next few months or so. Like, we gotta bounce at some point, and when we do, it'll be like a relatively strong bounce, even if it's like a new bear market, right? Like, it can't be all down. There's some up. Late shorters, they get suckered in, and then they get stomped flat by a big green candle. Yada yada. Buyers kind of step back in. Even if there's more bear market ahead of us, I still think that we just don't want to get too bearish all at once, guys. Ethereum looks pretty rough here. For now, as long as we're below $2,000, $2,000 is our ceiling. That's how I see it. We've been looking at this as support for quite a long time. Here, resistance, roughly 2,000. It's like 1950. Resistance, breakout here, support, new all-time highs. This area is support. We find support here. Fake out, breakdown, recovery, support, and then boom, breakdown. It's not fantastic looking. There's some hope, though. We're just starting to reach down towards the edge of the weekly parabolic trend here on Ethereum. Now, if this breaks, it's gonna really hurt. But this is a good area to maybe look for a bounce. What do we got up here that we might be bouncing off of? Nice little point of control up here. And there's some interesting volume. Where was it? Where are you at? Right here. Look at that. The volume right around 1,600. Kind of want to, let's see if we can isolate it just by looking back right here. Let's look. Interesting. I can only get it to show up here. Oh well. This is the area that I think looks kind of interesting. Kind of finish dipping down right here. Kind of stick it to the liquidity that we got sitting at 1,600. And then skedaddle our way back up into the 1,800 range. And this is, recall, our weekly parabolic uptrend. Actually, this is the 3-day parabolic uptrend. The weekly, yeah. So this is the 3-day trend. This makes a lot of sense looking at it. The weekly trend is actually just a little bit less steep, I believe. It's yeah, here I've got the weekly trend run on Bitfinex. It's all just one big area of support resistance right here. So resistance, support. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. Bitcoin dominance continues trading sideways here. This is probably a sign that whenever the markets bounce here, alts are going to bounce much harder than Bitcoin. This makes a lot of sense. Alts are very oversold versus Bitcoin. Now, this I could end up being incorrect. We'll see that if Bitcoin dominance breaks back above 48%. But for now, as long as we seem to be finding resistance in this area, resistance to the market to, selling their alts into Bitcoin, then I think this slow breakdown and trend that we're seeing here, that could continue. Altcoins. What are the big losers and winners today? Uniswap. One big flush push down here. This is very rough looking. But this is also kind of what we would expect for a retest of an area of liquidity like this, right? It still counts as a third leg. Push. You can see right here. One more push. Seller's kind of getting exhausted, right? Where's all the selling volume? It's interesting. There's still interesting liquidity below us here on Uniswap perp. But there's something interesting about this chart still. Dragon perp finally getting down to the weekly trend, right? This is what we've been eyeing. I think we can safely delete these. I'm really interested to see what Dragon Perp does in this spot. This is one of the few ones that's like at the trend right now. I guess I don't really need two of these. It feels like we just got a little bit more liquidity below us in DeFi perp. What's this area right here? 500. We got too many boxes now. If you got all these boxes, what do they even mean anymore, right?
Box.
Yeah. Yeah, box can stay. Box means I'm not exactly sure where the bottom is. There's some interesting areas of interest. Interesting areas of interest. You've heard it here first. This break of this uptrend over here ended up being very important, as you can see. Yeah, guys, I'm not sure where the bottom is. Maybe we've got another couple more days of downside. I'm not sure here. But I'm really starting to like the charts for a reversal sometime soon. Exchange perp kind of holding up interestingly here today. But there's man, we're hanging over space. Perp feels just so close to breaking its trends here. Mid-cap perp surf seems to be hanging over space right now. But then again, that's kind of how the markets are, right? Things look the darkest right before dawn. Oh no, we broke below the support right here, just like I was afraid of. But then we recover back over the support, we trade sideways here, and then we kind of continue. We're getting close to the weekly trend here on mid-caps. We've held the weekly parabolic trend on basically everything. Eesh. Pretty far above it here on alt perp. Where am I getting this line from? Okay. Has potential to recover here. I'd still be cautious. All right, so that's kind of where things are with the crypto markets right now. It's been a rough couple of days, but presumably you guys all weren't like 100% long or anything. So at this point, I'm just kind of like in a wait and see mode. I'm waiting for the markets to slowly find their bottom, and then I'm eager. I'm eager here to get a new long position of some kind. On a couple other servers that I'm in, I know some analysts that have closed up their shorts down in this area. You know, maybe it's not the exact spot. There could still be more downside here. I can't discount it. We're gonna look at the Dixie here, and the Dixie certainly looks like it's starting to break up. What we got over here? I mean, it looked like it was going to break up earlier, but if we close the day like this, then there's a chance that we could end up just wicking up into this area of resistance. This has been a smaller area of resistance before. Kind of tap liquidity here, break down more. That would be good, right? If we could get a breakdown from the Dixie instead right here. We're starting to get a slight recovery in some of the other Forex pairings against the dollar. So that's a sign that the dollar is kind of letting up some of the pressure on the market. We see yesterday the Canadian dollar just had a big gap down, and that's really against the dollar here. We look at USD/CAD. Oof, right? Told you guys to get long the dollar. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is really an area where we can begin to expect a pullback on the dollar. Maybe a little bit more upside here, but I think I would like to see us do some trading sideways here on the dollar. Up, down, before we do anything more. And we could even break down from this uptrend and kind of retest the lows here, but what we do have is the sign that a bottom has been found in the dollar one way or another here. All right, so dollar is uppish. What? I know. I guess the dollar is kind of down today in some ways. All right, partially up. So the markets are down. What's it look like? What's it look like out there? No, we're getting an interesting amount of buyback on the markets today. So you guys will remember on Friday. Yeah, on Friday we had been speculating of maybe a triple top pattern here on the Dow Jones. Let's go ahead and delete that because it's really visually confusing. All right, so once we close below this trend on Friday, Monday we gap down, trade down all day long, and then today here we recover back up to close the gap, and most likely we'll trade sideways a little bit more in this area, and then this looks like we could get a pretty big continuation here. A continuation to the downside, rather. At this point, everybody trapped overhead is now resistance for us. There's a lot of trapped buyers in these areas. You can see these in the wicks on the weekly, right up here, right up here, right up here. It's the volume that we've been kind of eyeing, if you all will remember. NASDAQ also recovering today. We had this break of trend actually on Thursday of last week. We're kind of expecting this breakdown since we got that break of the trend. At least kind of retest the $340 area, 340 unit area here on the QQQ. Similar story here. These are trap buyers. This area is resistance. We're now below our moving average. We're kind of looking for shorts now, but this may not be the ideal spot to grab it yet. We wanna see it turn down one more time. We want to catch the next turn down whenever it happens, and you just kind of jam it in there. All right, and then of course S&P. Very interesting. So I had redrawn this line, if you folks will remember. This is a 3-day line. Is that what it is? Yes. Now look at this. Look at the 3-day. We're turned under right here on the SPY. Sure, we got a gap fill today, guys, but I have a feeling that this is going to be faded over the next few days. I would be pretty cautious for the rest of the week on traditionals. It's I think a lot of people would call this either it's not even really a relief rally, because the relief rally is kind of like after like a long grinding push down. This is almost like a reflexive rally. You know, people they're used to buying the dip. Big dip yesterday. Got bought up, closed up the gaps, but I think there's still a lot of sellers overhead now. A lot of buyers are becoming sellers. So kind of bring that in to look at commodities. Gold finding an interesting amount of resistance. in the 1800 area, but I feel like we still need to come up towards 1850. We haven't really done that yet. I think we'll trade down a little bit and then push up towards this point of control, which we haven't really fully met with yet. Silver, I done told you guys. I done told you, and now silver done broke down. I've been saying over and over, guys, forget the silver short squeeze. It's all a lie. It's all a big lie. Just say no. Palladium has continued to move down. Palladium is for shorting pumps. I imagine we could retest 2720 here. If we do, you want to get short Palladium. We're still expecting a lot of downside on Palladium moving forward. Something like that. Platinum. Ooh, looks like we've retaken the downtrend here. I don't know if $1,000 is going to hold this time. Copper trading sideways at resistance. Sell it, get out. Brent crude. Big push down into the support area that we were eyeing just last week, actually. I didn't think we'd get down here so fast. I expect us to push up towards 71.5. You see, this doesn't matter anymore. This area right here, you see on VPVR. Right there. This is where our sellers are going to be. So we're going to push back up here, recover up into that area. Sellers are going to step in right in this spot and just start selling. And it's going to continue downwards. OPEC Plus came to a new deal that should drive down oil prices. That's the big news that sort of came out along with everything else this week. At least that's my understanding. But the charts already told us, right? It already had the breakdown. How did I know? How did I know, right? News doesn't matter, guys. The charts matter. How did he know? God. Natural gas breakout. Keep taking this long. What's a good target here? Jeez. Let's use some trend-based fib. I'm feeling it right now. That's not the right trend-based fib. There a better one we can use? What if we... I like this one. Okay. Targeting $4 and $4.55, which also interesting. $4.55 has confluence with the high of the 3-day range. Okay. I like it. Look at all these 3-day wicks to the downside. We're going to get this big close tomorrow. Natural gas looks strong here, guys. Corn is maybe starting to put in a bottom here, but I'm kind of neutral. We'll see what happens with it. What did I tell you guys? So we pushed up into this volume right up here on soybeans. Push, push, push. Rejection. And today we try and push up into it, and sellers are just like selling into this little pump right here. See? Kind of struggle. Gonna get follow through right here. Soybeans to the downside. Be shorting this movement right here on soybeans. Cannot. It's free money, guys. Just pick it up off the ground. Sugar, I still feel it's going to break down here, but we haven't yet. So you can wait. We could be interesting if we make a lower high here. Then it'll be short territory. All right, so you guys will recall on Friday, I basically told you to short the shit out of the world's markets. What happened to the world's markets yesterday? Ouch. Ooh, China is starting to find a bottom in this spot. Yesterday we pushed down, gets bought back up above the support. Interesting. France yesterday, boom, pushed down to the bottom of the of our descending broadening wedge right here. Very beautiful. A little bit of recovery today. Hong Kong, big sell-off yesterday. Told you guys this was resistance. UK, the pain, the extraordinary pain. I've been saying this was resistance since May or June. So if you live in the UK and you did not get short your own stock market, you've got no excuse. India, what an ugly fake out last week. We did finally get follow through yesterday. Ouch. Big bearish divergence here. Much more downside to come. I think there's still plenty of opportunity to get short this. Japan. Big ouch. Nice recovery today. I guess this is an interesting area to be looking to be a buyer. Netherlands, big ouch, and we broke below support. That's as of yesterday. All right, let's look at this on the 3-day. What's that look like? Well, that looks pretty flaccid to me. Right? That's not how a parabolic move is supposed to look, right? Parabolic moves do this thing, right? Parabolic moves do parabolic stuff. But this, like I said, is pretty wilted. I think this is a pretty firm rejection from resistance and break of trend. Well, who asked me in the Netherlands, right? Nobody in the Netherlands asked me. So, good luck, my Netherlandians. Whoops. Still just kind of trading sideways here at the point of control on Singapore 30. I imagine that we will break down here, but it could go either way. Still, and we're still in still holding this trend. Okay. Taiwan, we've seen Taiwan coming ever since the start of this bearish divergence. It's been pointed out. Then we broke the uptrend, which you can see right here. And yesterday we closed down. A little bit of recovery today. I imagine we'll be getting more downside coming up real soon here. So if the world's markets took a big dump this week, then what do we know about equities and bonds, right? Equities go up, bonds go down. Equities go down, bonds go up. Because bonds are safety, right? And equities they're a risk. They're a little bit of a gamble. So with the markets, even though markets are recovering a little bit today, and we can expect treasury bond markets to still be kind of ramping up. This is not right. There we go. Big, strong day on 30-year bonds. Really big, strong trend, right? This uptrend started in May. Right here. May 14th, 13th, 18th, this area right here. What's going on in the markets on those dates? May 13th, 14th. Basically, once the Russell makes this new low, markets are like, oh, hey, wait, that's not a great sign. NASDAQ. This area right here. S&P. This area right here. Very interesting. All right, so 30-year bonds, big ups yesterday, a little bit of down today. 5-year bonds, big up yesterday, some ups today, but we are at resistance. You can see some rejection here. But if we close a 3-day this strong, then we're going to keep going. 2-year. Still pushing at resistance until we reclaim the uptrend. I wouldn't be too interested in it. And the 10-year, of course, strong, pushing us into resistance. We can see some rejection here. Okay, let's do chart requests.
Yep, perfectly timed. Clock just struck 2:30. Let's get into it, guys. Requests are up next. Alright, got a fair number of them all ready to go. This should be more than enough requests to carry us through to the end of the show. Of course, the Livians, stand by. That fest is going to open in about 15 minutes from now. In the meantime, let's get the first request on the screen. Here we go. This first one comes in from Crypto Caveman. He writes, can we look at .USD on the daily, please?
We sure can. I actually picked up some DOT this morning. So we're currently in this buy zone that I had been talking to you guys about. So essentially, if this area didn't hold right above $10, our next big hope was all the way down here at around $8 or so. What am I looking at right here? You see this volume right here on VPVR. So that's what we're kind of aligned with. Now, what are we doing here on lower time frames? So yeah, I picked some up at like 1070 or something like that. We'll see how it works out. I feel pretty good about it. I mean, we are pretty close to this this downtrend as things stand. Hanging out right here. Be pretty simple to break upwards. So I like this area for a reversal, but as I said at the beginning of the show, guys, once we're in this area, I can't guarantee where the bottom is going to be. That's why I mark out these areas of interest. You can see we always do interact with them. Like here, this was a bottom for a while, and then we broke it, and we had this area waiting beneath it with our eyes on it, and that's about all that we can kind of guarantee. Because if there's more bearish news in the markets, there's more sellers, then the sellers will push it down to the next area of liquidity. We can identify those areas, but we can't really get a sense of whether or not how likely something is to reach there. For now, I like this area. And if I got to give it up, then fine. I'll just take a small L on the very tight stop loss I would have in this spot, right? Because either this is the bottom or it's not. I mean, even if we made like a lower low, I'd probably be disinterested in this. That being said, I can't help but point out that my system on the daily would have you maybe looking to short this area. This is just not a spot where, if we had things, if things were reversed here, I would say this is a little bit overextended for us to be taking in this spot. Honestly, DOT looks even worse here. If you've got this on, and you got this inverted, man. Keep your stops tight, people. What's next?
All right. Well, there was a decent dive into DOT. Thank you, Alex, for that one. And Crypto Caveman for the request. Now, Caveman came through with a second request also related to DOT. I know this question might be closely affiliated to your existing analysis. DOTUP USDT on Binance. This is the DOTUP token. This is that variable leveraged token. I don't know.
It's the same chart. If
take a look at it though, I do think it does vary, because I think this yeah, hold on, is this it? Yeah. Again, I don't know if there's
there's nothing to say about this, buddy. If DOT is going up, then you want to be in DOTUP, and if it's not, then you don't. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about the leverage chart.
All right, nothing to say there. Well, that makes it easy. Let's go ahead and introduce the next request. We have Link. Link is up. Two people requesting Link, Moonbeam, Lambo Dreams, as well as West Hammer over on DLive. Lambo Dreams writes, Chain Link, check out that point of control. West Hammer writes, can you look at Link?
The point of control is nice. I think the volume down here around $7 or $8 is kind of nicer. Man, look at that liquidity. It's like a big ol' liquidity area. Let's see, got another chart here, maybe. No, it's still pretty prominent down here. Well, it seems to be a log trend. This line really makes the most sense here. Yeah, I can't really get a sense if this point of control is really going to act as that much support for us, or if we're just going to like kind of pause there and then continue down towards this area of liquidity around $8 or $10. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't see it. Essentially, if the rest of the market recovers, Link can recover here, but I just don't see anything special about this spot to make me think, oh, I really want Link right here. Not here at $14. What's next?
All right, there was a link. That's the Lambo Drink. Best hammer both on D Live. Go ahead and have MATIC. Crypto Rich on D Live. May I request MATIC? Okay, let's do it.
Well, Alex of the past would have us looking for a buy in this area, right? I believe I said 75 cents, 50 cents, and 33 cents were the areas I was most interested in. Yeah, I think right now 70 cents is a good spot, and if 70 cents doesn't hold, I'd be looking for 50 cents. At this point, I cannot tell you guys where the bottom will be, but this is a good area to be a buyer. And it has been several times in the past. Good. Good. A measured move, if this is a real descending triangle though, we can't ignore. A measured move would take us to it'd take us below $0. Okay, so this can't be a real descending triangle. It's like, remember when people used to measure Bitcoin's descending triangle from 20K to 6K, and they're like, oh, we're going down to $50 or $500. We're fucking not. All right, so this is not a measured move we can do in that way. All right. But I'm looking for this area. I think I'm looking for this area still. What's next?
All right, shout outs to Crypto Rich and a look at MATIC. Okay, well, we've already done this one. Boris Bitcoin did tell me to ignore it. Of course, related to, can we look at natural gas, which along this chart right now. He did look at natural gas later in the show, covered that question. So we're going to skip.
Like Boris. Yeah, natural gas. That chart looks pretty killer, doesn't it?
Indeed. All right, Sushi. Sushi's next. O-Beam on YouTube Live, right?
This is really short territory for us right now. And this isn't even in the buy zone that I have marked out. Let's see if there's somewhere else we can look at a sushi chart. I think I like these consolidation areas around $3. It's these two spots where I'm looking at. So here, where sellers take this area to kind of like dump right around $3. Dump, 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 dump. Price, and then after sellers unload, price goes all the way down to like 50 cents, right? We come back up to this area, and buyers, and then same sellers like, oh shit, Sushi's gonna go for it. They buy, and then we take off, right? I think I would kind of like $3, $2.50 again, which would necessitate another big move down on alts, most likely, if we were to get that. Because I've just seen so much good news for Sushi recently. It's a pretty ugly weekly chart, though. Huh. Well, what's next?
Right there was a look at Sushi. Let me check the time here. 2:42. All right, 3 minutes. And open up. Get your last few lemons in the chest if you can, guys. Look at the next request. Click. All right, this next one comes from Mike Maker over on DLive requesting Litecoin.
Well, Alex of the past would have us be buyers here. Well, he had the wisdom of the ancients. I mean, look at him. Even back in May, he was like, no. I like the spot. You can see on VPVR, this is a nice area of volume. We've got a big low volume node below us acting as support. I could see us bounce from this area and all right, so completely speculative. Maybe. No. Quicker than that. Maybe something like that. Whoops. Just give me the fucking link. All right. No. No way. Okay. I mean, this is the weekly log chart. This is the parabolic trend for Litecoin. It's all the way back down here. Very interesting. We'll see what happens. What's next?
Well, we're going to open the chest up, guys. Thanks for bearing with us. Clock's about to strike 2:46. I'll give everybody a few seconds to prepare. So you alt tab back to your live window. I'm opening the chest in 10 seconds. Time you hear this, prompt. Boards are getting distributed. Good luck, everybody. Make sure to select. I doubled up today. I jam-packed. Since I'm kind of missing the Monday, everyone, I opted to double up today. Tag. Quick look at my distribution window. Counting down with about 10 seconds left now. Luck. Right, let's see how this works out. Alright, big winners today. We gave away over 1,000 lemons, pretty epic. Any word came in first with 125 lemons. Yours truly, man, I really swept up the lemons today. I've got over 129 lemons myself. Alex, 1233 with 94 lemons. Boris Bitcoin with 75, and Jim. Mook, Jim 14 UK. Late to the show, but not late to the big chest opening. 60 lemons. Congrats to everybody. Let's see here. I'm gonna throw a subscription out if I can afford one in the chat. Snatch it up if you don't already have it. Give me a minute to do that. Before I do though, I'm gonna introduce the next request. All right. Any word on the double? Right. BlackRock and Vanguard if possible. All right. BlackRock. I think their ticker's LK. Famous BlackRock. World domination, and yep, there it is.
Weekly bearish divergence, get out. So we see it making higher highs here on price, but we make lower highs here week after week. So we've got actually 2 bearish divergences here on BlackRock. And where's our uptrend? Boom. I say, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing the Joaquin Phoenix thumbs down, with the Emperor does from Gladiator. Yeah,
that's a classic.
Big thumbs down. Let's get out. No, where's Jason when you need him? Get to the dollar. Get to the dollar. I can't do it. Oh, that's why we have Jason here.
That's why we have Jason. Get to the dollar. All right. That's the Arnold references, the 80s children, and the Arnold references fly high around here. Go ahead and get into the next request. I'm trying to figure out how to give a subscription away. How many do you need? I mean, I'm clicking it. Do you need more than 100 lemons to give away one? Anybody know? Mr. Ether, you've given away subscriptions before. Do I not have enough lemons? How many lemons do you need to give away one sub on here? All right, apparently not working, guys. I'll see what I can do about that. Maybe I don't have enough lemons. Let's go ahead and get into the next request. We're going to wind the show down soon. Okay, he also wanted to look at Vanguard. Yes, Vanguard, the other mega equity group that seemingly owns everything.
Is it just VA? What is?
Vanguard. When you search Vanguard, it's going to be the Vanguard ATF, I think. Yeah, that one there, I think, is it.
No, because this is like.
Oh, there, ATF. There. Gotcha. Yeah, you're right, actually. Not too sure. Any word. If you're still watching, do drop the ticker in the chat below. We'll check it out. If not, we're going to head into the next request. It's from Boris Bitcoin. Can we take a look at DocuSign stock? Their ticker is DOCU. DOCU.
DOCU, man.
DOCU.
I can't really do stuff with this. That must be the... So it's not be right. Oh, there we go. I mean, looking at the monthly here, this looks solid. We're even getting a continuation signal here. I think this is probably signaling that we've got some more upside ahead of us. We'll want to watch out. Has this resistance been retested at all? Maybe. Basically a continuation signal almost, or almost an initial long signal really on my system. Weekly. It looks pretty strong. Right now, I can't see a good reason not to consider this to be broken resistance that we've held, and now we're continuing. Things look strong here on DocuSign. Let's see if there's any maybe broken trend that we can identify. Possible trends, just visually identified. Okay, cool. Another trend. Okay, cool. Arguably, we've held this trend, right? Good. That looks good. This gives us potential resistance where, at least if this broken, then we know it's really going to go for it. But overall, I like it. I can I could see why you'd be interested in this. If we broke below 2265 right here, then you want to be out. Let's get you some potential resistance levels. Trend base fib. Trend base fib. Consider this the breakout. Breakout here. Top. Or what would happen if we use this? All right, so I think this is telling us we should be looking for 385 and what is that, 500? Yeah, 500. So especially if we can close above 340 right here, this is 0.786, which will put us above this resistance level, this dynamic resistance right here. I think at that point we could be assured that we would be going for 500. I don't know if there's any like news or anything behind this, but the chart looks pretty good. What's next?
All right, we are about to get into the next request. I had a bit of a clarification coming in from Anyword as to which Vanguard product he wanted to look at. It's VNQ. If you could, Alex, revisit the Vanguard request. VNQ real estate. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
One.
Bruh, this is just going for it. It sold off a little bit with the rest of the markets yesterday, and today everybody just stepped back into it. I guess people may be seeing the end of the stock market for right now. Maybe they're seeing that, but they don't seem to be seeing any end to this real estate boom in sight. Where's our trend? Might need to get out the monthly here. Yeah, look at that strong trend. Yep, no reason to be selling it or anything. I would just stay in it or whatever your situation is. Yeah, I wouldn't be going short or anything. That's for sure. What's next?
Real estate is rocking and rolling. Apparently, no end in sight to the epic rise in property values across much of North America. Certainly seems like that. The Vanguard ETF reflects some of that. Of course, they were, along with BlackRock, they were at the center of that. Alex, I'm sure you saw that article from a few weeks ago. Why is BlackRock buying up, and other private equity firms buying up so much real estate? Yep. About what I expected with that one. Alright, here we go. We're in the closing minutes of the show. Shoutouts to Irish Girl Crypto. She just came through the live chat. Welcome to the show. We're kind of winding things down here, but always good to have a guest here. Let's go ahead and look at the next request. Polly B. NEM. XCM. That NEM.
All right. All kinds of neato trend lines around here. It's not really clear what to do with them at this time. Let's see if I can get a better chart here. That's right. Here we go. Okay, that's right. We like this area because in the past, this area has been important support resistance before. Let's mark this out. We'll even put this on the monthly so you can see better. Here in the past, it's been support. It's been an area of consolidation. We'll go to lower time frames, you can see. Support here, consolidation area here, consolidation at resistance here, consolidates at support here. We are back down in this important long-term area for XEM. I'd be interested in being a buyer in this area. Again, guys, I don't know for sure that this is going to be like the bottom, but now we're starting to get into areas with a lot of very interesting support. I like it. I don't dislike this area right here for reasons that it's has been a long time support level. So I would buy as close to 10 cents, maybe 8 cents as I could.
Seems we've isolated a bit of a theme for at least today's installment. If I could say, Alex, now's the time to start buying or dollar cost averaging in. Seemingly, I know we're not. We generally don't chase the reversals here, but it's kind of giving me the vibe of.
Well, we've been looking for a third leg down for a while, and here we are. We're getting the third leg down, and it's happening on much lower volume than we'd experienced in the past. I mean, today and yesterday hurt, but like, where's the volume and the panic, right? Where's the volume?
Indeed. All right, let's get these last requests or two off the board, and we're going to move to wind it down. The clock has struck 3 o'clock. We've got maybe 5 minutes to spare here. I do want to give Cardano a look. Rot died on D Live at Cardano.
Well, I'll say that this is an area of potential support. $1 is basically the final line here. If we close below $1, then we would be looking for probably something like 75 cents. This VPVR doesn't really want to show up here, does it? Yeah, this area down here. 75, 80 cents. I don't know, this chart just doesn't look spectacular to me compared to a lot of other charts we've looked at. This still looks like a big topping pattern here. What's next?
All right, one of the last ones, Maker.
Kind of in short territory for us here. Maker, I really feel like we could still come down and retest the 1750 area again. This is one of my buy areas, but I don't know. I kind of like this spot down here. And there's an interesting little bulge on VPVR right here too. What's next?
All right, this is it. Last request of the Tuesday installment. Have IOST for Daniel on YouTube. IOST1. All right, he's actually got more than one request here, but we might have to cut it off at IOST in the meantime. IOST, please.
This is a good spot to be a buyer, considering the very strong point of control in this area. So essentially, if the point of control does not hold in this spot, I would then be looking to be a buyer back around 1 cent. So you better hope, because otherwise it's a pretty big drop below us. I would, if I were you, I would probably wait for some sort of reaction off of the bottom before I pick this one up, considering how far above support we are, unlike some of the other ones where we're resting right on it. All right, let's wrap it.
Time to move to a wrap. Daniel, sorry we couldn't get to Harmony and Vet. Sure to post those requests for tomorrow. I'll get to them early, I promise. In the meantime, Daniel, hope you enjoyed the look at IOST. Alex, thanks again for taking us through another day at TA. I can't thank you enough, along with your market analyses that you post to the premium Discord. Is exceptional. Thank you for your work as always, Alex, holding it down, even in our stead without a show yesterday for everybody on a Monday. But the Tuesday installment went off without a hitch. Thanks to everybody who kicked it with us today, including David Rice, wrote, "Thanks for a great show and awesome edutainment. Thanks again, love CC fam." Thank you, David. Van Frick writes, "I appreciate you guys." And any word, thanks to y'all. Nana nana. All right. Thank you for that. Alex1233 as well. Thank you, everybody. And Irish Girl, Crypto, Daniel, any word. I do appreciate everybody's very positive comments. I'm back, of course, tomorrow for the Wednesday edition of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Really look forward to seeing you guys back then. I think Jason will be back with us tomorrow as well, so anybody who misses Jason, I think he'll be back on the stream with us afternoon. Alright, not much more to add, just checking everything else. We're all caught up on the comments. Thanks again, guys. Alright, any final words from Alex before we move to wrap?
I mean, you could do worse than just being on lower time frames and waiting for a good break of a downtrend. It's like in a spot like this, it's like, okay, I want to catch the bottom on Bitcoin. Like, I'll just wait until a downtrend is clearly broken, and then that is something that's longable. But for right now, it's just like, it'd be really speculative to be buying this spot on a lot of these assets. You know, some are beginning to look strong. And if we can break the downtrend, then by all means. As I said, I think we're near the bottom. So I'm certainly looking to be buying these spots. I don't want you to think I'm not like practicing what I preach, but I would definitely make sure you get that you get the confirmation. Otherwise, you risk being just like, you know, dragged down to hell if we got like another big lurch down.
Yep, with extreme fear in the Greenfield Index and the third major leg down. I'm betting a lot of people are panicking and quite uncertain of what comes next, but you know, in the weeks or months time, you might look back at this as having been a golden buying opportunity. Everyone, as always, do your own research, manage your own portfolios, your own risk, but I think you guys get the jive of today's installment. And peace out. Much love to you all. We'll see you Wednesday. Goodbye is what Jason would say if he was here.
Trouble.
Word.